What's your favourite room to run?
Atlantis and Temple, probably. Temple because it's just nice and easy, and then people usually get most of the clues, and I can hear most of the things that are going on, so I don't have to even watch because I can just tell what's going on from hearing it. But yeah, my favorite game is Atlantis, I guess, and I just like to run it. And I feel like the least amount of frustrating stuff is happening in Atlantis and Temple for some reason.
Do you watch the whole time? Do you find it funny?
Well, I watch most of the time, but like I'm often busy during watching, right? So I listen most of the things that are happening inside the game. Sometimes I find it funny, especially when kids are playing. That's pretty alright, but with adults, not always funny when they're not listening or when they're just doing like silly stuff, or I just can't stand when they like rough with the equipment and then dropping stuff around and then they just being rough. Like, you know, that frustrates me a bit. But, you know, I'm not the most patient person. Although I still love running games.
Are there many arguments in the rooms?
Ooh, no, I wouldn't say many arguments. I feel like, you know, most of the people are here to have fun and they group together and they, yeah, let's get this on, teamwork kind of thing. So I like that about it. But there was a few couples arguments when it was just so uncomfortable to even just watch the thing. It was like, oh my God, I wish I wasn't even here. And then, you know, they know that we hear everything, and then they know that we see everything, and then they're still getting into this like, oh, you're being a dead weight, and then are you gonna do something kind of argument, and I'm kind of, oh my God, like what did I just witness? And then they come out, and then, you know, like the person that's been grilled the whole time, they don't even want to look at you, they just want to get the hell out. So yeah, that's uncomfortable, but otherwise I wouldn't say so. I mainly see like couples arguing. Yeah.
Have you locked yourself in a room before and couldn't get out?
Have I? Oh yeah. Well, like, you know, it wasn't. Yeah. We are doing renovations and maintenance, and then there is this secret door behind me, and when I was like trying to fiddle with the door and then kind of make sure it's working alright, I kind of logged myself in, so I had to like scream like, Santiago, can you undo me? Because I was like full logged into like a tiny box like this. True story, recently.
What's the weirdest thing people thought was a clue that wasn't a clue?
I wouldn't say it's weird, but you know the crystal ball? Like we have the crystal ball, every single person tries to do every single thing with it.
Yeah.
Until they break it. True story. We're now replacing one of the crystal balls.
What's one of the funniest moments you've had working?
Oh, kids are generally funny. I think good moments really when people get engaged and then they make us hide the ring into the rooms, and then the unassuming partner just like finds it, and then they are very special moments. But funny moments, like, oh yeah, I really enjoy when the team's enjoying themselves and, you know, cracking jokes and whatever. I like to hear big cheers and big laughter and yeah, that kind of thing. That's good energy, because like it's a lot of energy, I think, to even do the briefing and then stay in character and still stay this cheerleader kind of person in the background. And then when you get that energy kind of back, that's really nice.
Do you have any horror stories?
So one time, some customer, I wasn't there, but I just like had to handle the situation. Some customer wasn't watched, or something had happened, and then they were playing with the big vault door, and sure enough, they kind of, because this vault door is like probably about this thick of a metal steel door, probably weighs like a ton. So, and then like you have to like undo the lock like this, and then you pull it, but it's like real heavy. But once you start moving it, like the momentum is going to be like swinging it, and it's all okay when it's swinging outwards, but when it's swinging inwards, and then some customer try to play with it, then what they're gonna do, they're going to be like pushing it in, and then at one point it's just the momentum starts kind of taking the door like real quickly, and then you're trying to hold back, and the next minute you wedged your finger in and then nearly cut it off. So there was this lady wedged her finger in between the door and the frame of the door, and then cut her fingers, and it was spraying blood everywhere, and then we had to call the emergency out. That was a bit of a horror story. But most of the horror stories of mine is when like stuff are not functioning or there are weird glitches in the room, and then we have to drop everything and do repairs, or we have to like come up with some solutions like how we make it look like the game is functional without it being functional. They are the big horror stories to me. Well, besides the lady that's like spraying blood everywhere, but like mostly it's the it's the emergency repair situation, which is not really happening anymore. So thank God we are over that phase.
What's the fastest team you've ever had?
Probably in the 20 minutes something in the temple, probably.
What about the slowest team?
Hour 45 kind of thing. Probably in Atlantis. Sometimes it's alright because then, like, you know, if I know I have the time, I just chill back and relax. But sometimes it's like when, especially when they're not listening, but they really need the clues, but they just refuse to, you know, even like, you know, like the attention span would be like about a second and a half, and I'm like trying to tell them what to do, and then they don't listen to the second half of the sentence, and then I'm saying it over and over and over again. That's frustrating, and that's what holds them back. And then they come out and then, oh, that was too hard, and I'm kind of like, really? Only if you had listened for longer than a second would have been easier, eh? Or only if you worked together, or only if you weren't on your phone the whole time. Maybe it would have been faster, eh?
What is the best strategy to escape quickly?
Oh, I said look at details carefully. I think like everything has a suggestion, every information is linking together one way or another, and then it's just going to be there for you. But people, like, I think mostly overlooking details. I think observation skills are the best strategy, and also work together, talk with people, and then, you know, sometimes like teams don't even tell each other that, hey, you're working on a puzzle that we solved 15 minutes ago. That's like, you know, that would save a lot of time for them. But also I think, like, you know, if you just look at stuff properly, then the solution is going to be right there. But it's not a skill these days that humans have to live with. It's not like, you know, like you're walking down the street and a lion's gonna eat you. So you don't need like so much of an observation skill anymore to survive. And then I think in this game, if you have good observation skills, you would do well. And that's why I believe kids doing really, really well, because they just look at stuff sometimes a lot more carefully than adults.
And what's the funniest team interaction?
I like when teams like put on the props and the outfits and the hats and the guns and everything before they start the game. That's pretty funny usually. Yeah. I just like teams doing really well and cheering and jumping around. It's very rewarding, but otherwise, I don't know, maybe I just don't find many things funny.